Let yourself figure it out. Genuinely give yourself the time to sit and be with yourself and allow the unraveling to take you with it. So many of us are rushing to get to the next step of life, to the next stage where we preemptively have decided all of our most desirable outcomes are waiting for us, right? And that is fair to dream of and envision. It's what keeps us going in this really confusing world we live in. But at the same time, if we continue to treat ourselves like a project that can never seem to be completed, always anticipating what must come next in order to galvanize our spirits, it tells me something about your inability to stay in the present and appreciate yourself for everything you are. And I find that when it comes to expanding my spiritual philosophy, the most helpful set of concepts I've come across are probably the ones that designate your existence as enough. One of my favorite gurus on YouTube, his name is Muji. In one of his meditations, he explains that there's nothing that you could be given that could make you more than you are right now. What you have right now, what you might have in the future, what you had in the past, doesn't matter, because the unchanging is you. And those items or those possessions or those outcomes or achievements didn't fundamentally change the essence that lies within you. You were always inside of that body and that being. We, as a society, come to the understanding and conclusion that if we are not constantly in the pursuit of a goal, that there is something fundamentally wrong with us and we must get checked out. We must find ourselves again and find that purpose. But the truth is that when we are on this wild goose chase, going around and around and around in circles in our mind, with the intention of figuring out what it is that we are after, that purpose, that goal, we begin to lose ourselves in the process. Because it is when we equate ourselves to the obtaining of an outcome that we forget the real purpose of why we are here. And I'm not here to give you some prophetic revelation of why we are all here. I could never figure that out. I don't think anybody truly knows what we are doing here. And that's totally okay. But what's not okay is for you to continually measure yourself against this impossible scale of becoming something that you already are. Because when we think about goals, what comes to mind for me is the fact that we are trying to become something that is worthy of that outcome. So for example, let's take a college student that is applying to grad schools, right? And their goal is to attend a top 10 grad school for whatever profession or field they're intending to specialize in. So in the pursuit of that goal, they are looking forward to and they are anticipating a version of themselves that has achieved that status of admission to that school. They're aspiring towards that version of themselves. And it seems pretty innocent, right? When we think about goal setting, when we think about manifestation, we always think about, believe as though you are in that state, the as if. But when you think spiritually and you sort of deconstruct all of those ideas of the self, it becomes quite clear that the person you are trying to become already exists inside of you, and that person is not going anywhere, whether you have that outcome achieved or not. We are constantly in the pursuit of becoming someone else, of transforming our lives. In that process, we become attached to the prospect of what if, and then if then. It all seems so harmless, but I have to remind you that you cannot keep chasing a version of yourselves that is already within you. You're chasing somebody that you think becomes apparent given a certain conditional set of circumstances. So if I get into that school, I will become that person that I aspire to be. Or if I have those friends, I will embody the person that I desire to be. But that's not true. You already are that person. You are nothing more than you are currently. You will never receive anything in your life that will make you more than you are now. This will do wonders for your self-concept, I'll tell you that. This is simply because when you are not chasing after a version of yourselves, you have enough time to slow down and look in the mirror and realize that that person is already who you are right now. We have the ability to embody multiple different characteristics at once. We can be jealous, we can be happy, we can be sad, we can be full of rage, and we can be full of inspiration, all at once simultaneously. You don't need a catalyst of an achievement or a person or a place or an event or a circumstance to propel you into that position. You will never be more than what you are now. And that is not to say that you are stagnant and worthless. It is actually to say that you are exactly who you've always wanted to be already. When you see yourself through a multidimensional lens, everything that you could ever be, everything that you are, everything that you were, is all condensed into the current moment. So there's no need to chase after a feeling or a circumstance or an outcome in order to materialize who you think you want to be. You already are that. There is nothing that you could receive in this lifetime that could make you more than what you already are, which is an infinite, expansive seed of consciousness. It's a very powerful philosophy to adopt. You come to find that in adhering to these principles, there's nothing and there's no one that could ever make you feel less than. There's no absence of a possession or a person or a place that could make you feel as though you are not the person that you want to be, that you aspire to be. When you make your existence conditional upon milestones and achievements, it's very easy to realize that you'll never be that person that you desire to be, because you are punishing yourself with the prospect of a conditional gratification. You will only feel satisfied once you reach that step in your path. But the path itself is cyclical. You are experiencing life in a spiral of events. So even when you get to the place that you were intending to get to, you'll get there and you'll realize that all the feelings that you're feeling there, you could have felt a millennia ago, right? Metaphorically speaking. But you simply thought that condition was to get there for you to feel that way. So you spent all those years accumulating that success and those achievements because in your mind, it was a linear path to that reality of feeling the way you wanted to feel, of being the way that you wanted to be. When you realize that reality is happening all at once and that feelings are liminal states of energy being transformed and transmuted all at once, you are able to then access how you desire to feel in any moment because you've allowed yourself the freedom to do so without filling a criteria. It's so important to free yourself because when you free your mind, you're able to free your soul and your spirit. And when you free your soul and your spirit, well then you have unlocked the key to life, my friend. See, most people will go through life feeling incredibly stuck and incompetent and undeserving of peace and happiness. And that's because in childhood we are unfortunately taught that we must measure up against a scale in order to feel deserving. And so we do that to ourselves and we perpetuate that same pattern for the rest of our lives without realizing that we are abundant in nature. We have the full capacity to access these varying states of existence right here, right now. Nothing is stopping you, nothing is limiting you, and there's no outcome that you need to chase in order to feel the way that you want to feel right now. I truly hope that this video helped you understand how limitless you are and how your ambition can actually become an inhibition. Be careful with what you aspire to be because you might get lost in the attempt to achieve. Don't lose yourself in the process. Find whatever makes your soul light on fire and fills you with a zest for life. But first and foremost, remember that there is nothing that could make you more than what you are now and in every moment hereafter. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in booking a private session with me or booking a private Reiki healing session, you can feel free to comment down below, email me, or click the link in my bio. If you want more videos from me, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any recommendations for what I should talk about next, feel free to let me know. I'm very appreciative for you being here. Thanks for watching.